Alrighty. So hello. Yeah. Let me start that one again. How about that? Hello. I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also, live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC, you'd like to see it put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty. So we ended up buying the PCs from this afternoon. And so we're basically back here now, and I'm going to be making some modifications to some of these configurations, right? So the three systems that we got, obviously built by amateurs and stuff like that. There's one system with 48 gigs of RAM and a GTX 970 in it and an 11600K. It's all over the shop. So basically what we're going to be doing here tonight is we're going to be putting together one gaming PC that I think will sell pretty quickly. So the end configuration of this box here, we're going to have this cooler installed. It's going to have a Ryzen 5 2600 6-core 12-thread CPU. It's going to have 32 gigabytes of RAM. Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB, I think, is a 32 gigabyte kit. I could be wrong. It's got two different kits of memory in there, and it's 48 gigabytes. So one kit's 32 and one kit's 16. I just don't know which is which. We're going to remove the motherboard that's on here because this motherboard has got some physical damage on it. I'll probably, I told them I can't pay them any money for the motherboard because it's physically damaged. It's just going to be a spare for me, just in case I need to test Intel 10th or 11th gen CPUs or whatever. The Noctua cooler, I'm gonna take that out, and when I have a customer who is looking for a new PC and they don't want a liquid cooler, they specifically want an air cooler and a really powerful one, and they like Noctua, I'll give them this Noctua cooler on the cheap there for them, save them a bit of money from buying it new. And then basically the radiator is going to be mounted to the front, so we'll have two RGB fans on the front. There's two 140mm black fans there on the front. They're going to go up the top here, and I think I've got another RGB fan here with a ring on the outside. We'll put that on the back fan there. So hopefully at the end of this we'll have RGB on the RAM, we'll have two RGB fans, we'll have the RGB on the liquid cooler, RGB on the back fan, two big 140mm fans up top as extra exhaust, and then we'll have a RTX 2060 Super going in there with all that, a 500GB NVMe SSD, and a 2TB hard drive. The 2TB hard drive's brand new, the cooler's brand new, the rest of the stuff is used. But yeah, happy days for someone who's after a bargain gaming PC. And this will be well under the $1,000 mark, this one. So if you're after something cheap, feel free to hit me up, take it off my hands. Alrighty, so yeah, what's up? Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us. Yeah, we're definitely keen, man. It's been a little quiet this week. I've done a shitload of quotes for people and stuff, but not many invoices. But you get weeks like that when you do this sort of work. All right. So have a look at that. Oh man, you can just tell. Okay, that's just a male to male cable there. Alright. Okay. So I don't think we need this Noctura stuff here. Not too bad around the back here. Everything's got its place. It's better than shitloads of cable ties to cut out. So we got a 1 terabyte hard drive in there. We could probably just leave it. Let's get this massive fucking cooler off. Lucky I have my long reach screwdrivers for this one. And this is a perfect point for education as to why liquid coolers became a thing in PC. Because, as you can see, we're sort of at the upper limit as to what you can do with an air tower cooler with this cooler. So in order to put more cooling capacity onto the CPU, this is the direction that they went. Look at this thing. Huge. And this is sort of basically the upper limit of what you can do with an air cooler. They get too heavy and then they start to actually bend and warp the board. It's huge. It's huge. And so in order to add more cooling capacity to a PC without bending the motherboard and stuff, we invented liquid coolers.
That's a chunky boy.
That will have a bit of thermal on it. We got an 11600K here. So if anyone wants a good deal, wants to save $100 or so on an 11600K CPU, I've got one right here ready to go. Like I said, I don't have this motherboard. This motherboard's got physical damage.
David says hey to me.
Hey David, how you going? Good to have you with us.
Oh Jesus, that's a lot of thermal paste that was on that.
Oh yeah.
It's really thick. How much thermal do you need?
They need all the thermal.
You don't need that much. Like, yeah, thermal's good, but not that much.
Alrighty, do I have an Intel CPU tray lying around somewhere? Here we go. Alrighty, there's our 11600K there, recovered from this PC. And so I'm going to want to make sure that I don't lose anything from the bracket that I need to mount this thing. Do you have like a clippy bag somewhere, babe? Any sort of clip seal bag? I just need to put this mounting kit that goes with this cooler and something.
I can put it in a bag.
Don't we have a heap of like sandwich bags? I swear I bought a shitload of sandwich bags.
I can do an inverted bag and twist it.
I don't care about inverted bag, it's hardware. But
it's as good as it's gonna get. I don't have zippy bags.
yeah, I know. So let me get it all together. The last thing you want to do is lose any of that shit for that particular cooler. I don't buy
Is that
them.
it?
I don't buy them all the time. Yeah, that's it.
See, there we go.
Yep. Just been a deli girl for like 15 years. Oh, there's one piece that I missed.
Oh, fuck off. No, give it here.
Can I just make a little hole in it?
I'll put it in a new bag.
Yeah. Put it in a new bag, but I just stuck it, put a hole in it.
Oh, you're one of those customers.
I'm one of those customers, hey? That's no way to speak to your boss.
Excuse me?
This is a work day.
Hey, little banter between boss and...
Oh, no, I'm not fucking being serious.
I'm not.
Telling me I'm one of those customers. Come on.
They ask for a specific thing, like say, oh, can I have 300 grams of this? And you give them 300 grams. Oh no, can I have maybe a little bit more? Maybe 450 grams, please? And then you give them that, and they're like, oh no, 500 will do.
I do it.
No. Try this. Fruit. No.
Alrighty. So what is our memory? Yep, looks like our RGB one's the 16GB, sorry, the 32GB kit. And these will be the 8GB. No, sorry. It's these white ones that are 32GB kit. Oh well, that's okay. Because we'll do the RGB kit in this motherboard. But I want to show everyone. What's wrong with this relatively new motherboard? Looks all shiny and new and it's a good board. But check out what someone did to the PCIe X4 slot there. Look at all those pins. They had the slot, but I don't want to sit there and repair that. I'm just going to save this board for if I need Intel LGA 1200 socket motherboard to test the CPU or something like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna sell that to a customer. I got it to boot. I got it to boot.
Can't see properly.
Yeah, I got it to boot, but then I plugged a device into this X1 slot down the bottom, and it wasn't getting any power or being detected. So there's obviously something wrong with it. It was working with this slot. I'm assuming this M2 slot would work as well, but once we get to here, no. So I'm assuming this M2 slot would probably not work, and this PCIe X1 slot's not going to work, because the power's sort of routed through each one to each other. So if there's a big problem like this, it's likely to cause a problem then. So the fact that I saw that problem, they've obviously tried to plug in another card or something like that, and they've just snapped it out. They've forced it because they're too keen. This is what amateurs do when they build PCs. They get really keen and they start shoving things in and they break things because they're too excited, and they learn the hard way. It's all well and good. It's fun building your own PCs. Well, I think so. But to do it and you're an amateur, do it slowly. Don't make another motherboard like this.
Otherwise, you'll end up like Psyduck over there.
Yeah, you will end up like Psyduck. And it won't be like me when I'm like Psyduck and it's like, oh shit, I'll need to do something blah blah blah. I might have to put a new whatever in there. Where can I even put this board? Just need to put it somewhere where it won't get damaged. It's not e-waste as such. It's just, yeah, I'm not going to sell that to someone. I could use a spare LGA 1200 socket board. Alrighty. Oh, dropping the freaking bolts everywhere. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got a 750 watt power supply here. It's actually a decent model power supply. It's one of the MSI MPG branded ones, which are pretty decent. And one thing you can see what I mean by someone's just like far too keen. They couldn't even work out sticking this SSD down properly. They couldn't even get the clips in place. They just quickly bolted in. Just someone who should never have attempted to build a PC attempted to build a PC. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know for sure. I don't know the full history of this machine. But yeah, the guys that traded it in, I don't think they're the ones who originally built it, from what they've said to me in conversation. It seems like they bought them and then, yeah, like someone sold them these PCs, and they were, yeah, thinking it was going to be a lot better than what it was. Oh, jeez. There we go. So we got a Noctua fan controller there. Move them over there so I don't damage the RAM. Okay, so we've got this little 60 gigabyte SSD here. Shit.
What's wrong?
I just tried to pull the SATA connector out and the bit of plastic on it just snapped.
What?
Yeah, check this out. You don't normally see this, and you can see what I did then. I wasn't doing anything crazy with it. But yeah, the top of the SATA power connector just snapped. I didn't pull any excessive pressure on it. I just went to pull it out, just a normal amount of pressure that you need to apply, and it just snapped. I'm not very concerned.
Okay.
I might tape it up, but
Maybe it, like, you know, it has never been used, so it's a little bit like, you know.
No,
I don't know.
that's weird. That plastic felt really brittle, the way that it snapped just then. And anyone who knows SATA connectors would know they're pretty strong. They don't normally snap like that. In fact, I don't think I've ever had a SATA power connector snap just like that, just from me pulling it out normally. That's pretty weird. Alright, so this is an old Intel 60 gigabyte SSD. Here's one for you, babe.
Oh, jeez. Just sit down.
This is a bit of a relic. Remember I was telling you how 500 gigabyte SSDs used to be like $1,500 and stuff like that when they first came out back in the day? They used to make 60 gigabyte SSDs just to put Windows on and a couple of apps. You can't even, I don't think you can buy 60 gigabyte ones anymore. They're all 120 at the smallest these days. But we don't need that. We don't need that for this. We've got an NVMe SSD. What is flipping tying all this up? SATA cables. Jesus, look how long it's taken me just to untangle the cables here. Yeah, see, you'll hear me say, "Oh, don't get your wires crossed." I'm not trying to like make a stupid joke there or anything like that. I'm actually being serious. It's one of the things that you really want to make sure that you don't do when you build a PC. You don't want to get your wires crossed. Wow, look at this one. This PCIe 6+2 cable has had the +2 ripped down all the way to there. Oh god. Alright, there's one SATA cable. I'm going to unplug that from the hard drive there. Two. And it's just these two lots of SATA cables, yeah. Fuck me dead. So let me get this big chunky boy out of the way and show everyone what I'm dealing with over here. Okay, so I've finally got these cables over here. So let's sort out a bit of this fucking mess. So this looks like the PCIe cable I want to use. This looks like the motherboard cable that I want to use. What the fuck is that? CPU. Holy shit, look what you've done to the CPU power cable for no reason. Just ripped it all the way down to there. Like, oh god, it's in a knot. Okay, I guess it's a form of cable management. I mean, it's a consumer PC. It doesn't have to be fucking perfect, man. We got there, fucking another PCIe cable. Oh, no, we've got an intact CPU power cable. They pulled it apart because of the because they were obviously using it with that 12-pin connector on that board. But you don't have to pull it down that far. So let's put that one to the side. Let's use this one. the more intact cable, because we just need an 8-pin for this, obviously. And then we need one SATA, and so these cables here, these three here, can all get tied back.
The actual fuck.
What are you watching, babe?
Oh, I think TikTok knows I'm like the age of a mother because it just like showed me ads for women who've had children and they need special underwear set. You know what I mean?
Paternity underwear.
Yeah. I do not need that.
Yeah, we don't have any kids.
No, I have a cat and 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Their children enough.
I'm not going to fit them down there. I'll fit them up here. Okay, there we go. So now we've got a more normal amount of cables there. We've got the excess all tied back there. Okay. And so if you do build PCs or you're wanting to maybe try and play a bit of the used PC game and stuff like that, and you're looking for advice. See how much work it is here for me to do this one, okay? Don't sell yourself short. Don't pay stupid amounts of money for used PC parts. I always tell customers, look, I'm like cash converters, so you're not going to get the same sort of money as if you sell it privately through me. And if you want to do this, you want to buy used PC parts and hustle them together to make a profit and stuff like that, then the first rule is you can't pay more than what it's worth. And you need to factor in the time that you're going to spend on each unit that you pay for, not just the cost of the unit. The whole thing needs to make sense economically. If not, it just doesn't make sense to do it at all. If you're doing it for a hobby and you don't care if you make money, you just want to play the game, then that's fine. But if you want to make money and you're serious about it, then you gotta be pretty serious about it. Alrighty, so what we're going to do with this one is we're gonna actually mount our radiator here to the front. So the front fans will be on there. They sit behind our RGB there. And so what I'll do, let me just grab a fan. Let me just put these cables through there for now. Yeah, that's not going to obstruct when we put the front panel on. So that'll be ideal. Those front fans will be right up against the mesh there at the front. It'll look brighter. and then our radiator will be mounted to the back there. And so these big 140s, we're going to stick them up top because we should have room for two 140s up top. Then we'll have a nice, 280mm worth of exhaust vent on the top of this case, so it'll be, really, really good airflow through this case. And then the back fan will probably swap out for an RGB one, because we just got a plain black Noctura 120mm fan in there at the moment. We're also missing a lot of blanking panels there as well on the case. We'll also replace all of them. Okay. Alright, let's get that out of the way. We got a big thermal paste smudge at the top of this case. Wonder if that was me or the previous person. Alrighty, so I just put 2 bolts in them for now. I'll chuck some more in later. Okay, how are we looking here? That's looking a bit better. So for this motherboard we utilise slots 2 and 3. So let's put those blanking panels back in place. So I want this to look pretty good. I don't want it to look like the damaged unit that it was when I picked it up. I want it to be better than that. So this one panel here, this is just a little snap out bracket. So they've all been snapped out. I don't know why. And maybe this was a streaming PC or something. Oh, what am I doing? Slots 2 and 3 with this motherboard. And so what we're doing now with our streams is we're going to be uploading like a shortened version of it after the fact, like an edited version sped up. So if it's a little bit tedious to watch the entire process of a PC being built for you, you can just watch the updates. Sorry, the I don't even really know what I'm going to call them. At the moment, I've got the playlist called Short Format Builds, but basically it's exactly like this, but a lot of the tedious screwing in of the bolts and routing of cables and stuff like that, and just me talking about like what I'm doing and stuff like that. But they'll just be skipped through, and then you can just, you know, sit there and watch the PC get assembled and me move really fast as I assemble the PC at like 100 times speed. So that's always pretty satisfying to watch those sort of things, where the thing just sort of assembles in front of your eyes in a minute or something. Yep. Okay, so we got those blanking panels back in the back there, room for our graphics card. So that's all looking pretty good. Oh yeah, we can mount a couple of 120 fans to the bottom of this case as well. It's got pretty good fan mounting options, but I don't think the back panel has any vent on it, so these fans at the bottom would really just be for show. They're not really going to move a great volume of air. Okay, so the second one, this is what we're putting in there. So this is a Ryzen 2600 on, I think it's a B450M Steel Legend from ASRock. And so we've got a GTX 970 here that basically looks like it hasn't even been used before. But unfortunately, GTX 970 4GB has seen better days in 2022. Sorry, I've just got to grab the graphics card that we need for this one. Alrighty, so this is our graphics card that we're going to be using tonight. And so this is an RTX 2060 Super, which I think is an 8GB card. Yep. I'm not just mistaking it. So the normal 2060 is just a 6 gigabyte, but if you manage to find yourself a 2060 Super, that is an actual 8 gigabyte card. So, bit of a step up there. Here we go. Here's the anti-static bag that hard drive was in. So that's a brand new hard drive, so you can chuck a new hard drive in someone's build nice and cheap. Okay, where are we at? Got some cable ties here, but you really need it in this case. It's very, very, very tight in terms of the room that you have. Jesus. I don't know. So that fan, how is it connected? So, 4 pins into a Molex. So, 2 would be power, 2 would be addressable, I'm assuming. Fuck, man. Play the world's dangerous game there. Touch 2 pins of it and it will change the RGB lighting on that fan. Touch the other 2 fins, the fan blows up. So don't make that mistake. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh jeez. Some of these bolts aren't even screwed in right. That can happen though. It'll happen to the best of us. Alright, that one's threaded into the offset, so we'll have to get the pliers out for that one. Okay. Got a little Wi-Fi N device there, not the greatest, but better than no Wi-Fi at all, I guess. Alright, let's get this case and power supply out of the way. Alrighty, so now we've recovered the motherboard, I will swap the I/O shield over now. There we go. Bit of dust around that one. Okay, so we've got the offsets set there for an ATX motherboard, but we've got a micro ATX board. So we'll go and swap that over. Okay, so that's looking all good over on the case side, but we've got some work to do over here on the motherboard side. So we got this old Wraith Stealth cooler here, we'll get rid of that. So we'll clean off the thermal compound on the CPU there. It's whoever had this PC previously, they've actually tried to get a bit more performance out of it by redoing the thermal paste under their Wraith Stealth cooler. So just FYI, public service announcement, that's not going to make fuck all difference, okay? The cooler's still the same. The thermal compound, its job isn't some magic cooling paste. The job of the thermal compound is to fill in microscopic little ridges and valleys in the metal. So if we were to take this CPU and look at it under an optical microscope at 30 times, which is about as far as an optical microscope will really take you without other things, we would, even at that sort of magnification, we'd be able to see those ridges and valleys in the material. So it feels nice and smooth when you touch it, but it's actually got all these little ridges and valleys. Thermal compound smooths that out, so the cooler makes nice contact with the CPU block, so maximum heat can transfer between the molecules. That's what it does. So putting heaps of it on doesn't help. Putting just the right amount is really all you need. You don't need to go crazy on it. The only reason you'd have to change it is if you notice that your CPU is all of a sudden running way hotter than what it was, then you might have an issue where the compound itself's degraded, and then you need to clean it off and reapply. But sometimes what people will do is they won't want to admit to themselves that they need to upgrade something, and they get on Google and they try and look at all the ways that they can potentially make it better without spending any more money. And unfortunately, that usually just leads to you spending money on things that you didn't have to spend money on. So, I won't even use my pliers. So I've got a bolt wedged into the offset here. So now I can get some good grip on it. Jesus. There we go. If the screw doesn't want to screw in, just go back for a bit. Because you might be able to screw it in for a while, but if it's on an angle, it'll just get harder and harder and harder the further you go down, because angles, right? I'm not going to teach you geometry and stuff, but yeah. It starts getting harder, and then it gets harder and harder and harder to screw it in the deeper you go, because it's on an angle, it's not screwing in right. You need to reverse it. You go back the other way, and you can normally hear a little click when the screw goes back into alignment. Sweet as. So we've got some RAM there, and we had got a 500 gigabyte SSD that we can put in here. And we'll bolt that one down. Sweet as. Alright. So it's cooler time now. Alrighty. So last time I installed one of these, I forgot to take the bloody bit of plastic off here. I'm watching the benchmarks, I'm like, why is this running like slightly hotter than it should? Turns out, my bad. But the point is that I identified that there was a problem before I shipped it to the customer. That's the key. Hey babe, where you at? I don't hear shit. Alrighty, so got to prep this cooler for AM4. This plastic and crap out of the way. So Ryzen 2600, it does run pretty hot with the stock cooler. It is definitely better to have an aftermarket cooler on it. I think there might have been some evidence with that because I could see that the CPU had been repasted. So you can always tell with the AMD coolers because they have pre-applied thermal compound on the bottom of them. So you can tell if someone has just, you know, that's just the original cooler that was stuck to the CPU, or whether someone's taken it off and repasted it and stuff. The thermal compound's also a slightly different shade to what other brands generally are. It's normally like a pretty grey colour, whereas the thermal paste on the bottom of the Wraith Stealth coolers has a slight green tinge to it, so you can definitely see the difference there. Okay, so we're actually taking off these RGB fans here for now because they're going to go on the front of the case and we're going to screw the radiator into them. Alright, let's prep this back plate for AM4 as well. Alrighty, there we go. So it's going to go on like this, and then our radiator will be, well, hang on, I have to have it has to go this way. So it will, it's freaking pipes. It'll go on like that, just to give you an idea of where this is going and what we're doing with it. Its pipes are just a bit stiff because it's brand new, and just looks like, oh shit, I nearly forgot to put thermal paste on it that time. Don't forget that. Where have you been? You right? Huh? What's wrong? You give me these looks and I don't fully understand. Oh. Alrighty.
You've had second dinner.
How's he had second dinner?
You gave him second dinner.
Oh, was that his second?
Yes.
Oh, fucking hell. Oi! You've already had food. Stop being a fluffy cat.
He's like, what?
I tell him every day. Okay. Okay. Hey babe, do you wanna help with this? Let's get the screwdriver.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's magnetic, sorry.
Hmm?
Yeah. Hang on. Screwing the other way. They all got to be screwed in. It's a little bit awkward to do this, but it'll look way better at the end of the day.
I'm not helping. I'm in the way.
Trying to let you get experience. Now you help me at the start, because once you get like 2 bolts in, it's relatively simple to tie the rest of them down. Okay. This top slot, I want to run the other front panel connection cables through. Okay. Damn, too slow. I'll wait till she comes back. Oh shit, these are pretty short, aren't they? We're not even going to be able to run through that way. That's a shame. I wanted to use up a bit more of these cable lengths because it doesn't have the biggest room for cables out the back here. And we are adding more than what we had previously.
Loves pickles. He actually likes them.
He likes them now. There we go. Everything out of the way. Okay.
What?
We're finally making a bit of progress here. So what do we got here? We got USB 2 and front panel audio. Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Oh, just things get tangled on fucking everything. Yeah.
Samantha says
Hey Samantha, how you going?
it's John's
Yes, I know, I remember. You can already see that it's going to look a lot better than previously. You can tell someone will come along and snap this one up at the right price.
Looks like my motherboard.
Well, yes, it is. It is the B450 version of your motherboard. It's the Steel Legend from Hasbro.
This one noodle bed. I won't sleep in it unless it smells like food. Yeah, yes. You. Fluffy cat.
So most of that can stay like that. I just don't want to see any of this crap from the front side of our motherboard. What's that? Power switch and power LED. Okay, where are we? Reset switch. HD LED. And then individual ones. Let's get these around the wrong way. It's not reverse polarity on our case lights.
Oh, Tim,
Yeah.
I think my cousin Lynn's got me a rock wheeler.
Oh, really?
Look at that. Look at his
Oh.
face. He's so cute. He's just a puppy. Oh.
Alrighty. So we do have Wi-Fi that we can plug into this. So it's just Wi-Fi 4 here, or Wi-Fi N as it's frequently referred to. So you got Wi-Fi N, which is Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi AC, which is Wi-Fi 5, and then we've got Wi-Fi AX, which is Wi-Fi 6. Alrighty, that's looking pretty good there. Now we will have fans and RGB. Alrighty. Okay, coming along. I'll have enough cable length for these. I think I will. Oh. Oh, fuck. Stupid Natura fans. Oh, they've got like a really short connection here at the top. And it's like you've got to put all these little pieces of fan cable together. I don't know why they do it. Where's my fucking big screwdriver? So yeah, I actually have to fully remove the fan just to reconnect this up here. Okay, so I'll use this little 5 centimeter extension to plug it in. There we go. So it's looking nice and neat. Where are our solder ports? Solder's just around there. Just leave that there for now. Motherboard power up here. Alrighty, it's graphics card time. So we got 3 display outputs here on our 2060. Alrighty, I'm just gonna bunch up some of these cables here. I'm not gonna go too nuts here, but I'm gonna put a cable tie on it just because I don't want to see any random cables from the front side. I want it to look nice and neat, and I don't want to go nuts putting needless cable ties on out here out the back. Okay, so that should all sit in there just fine. Oh, that's the right button there. We're really tight at the back here. We'll have to put a bit of pressure down. Panda, hey?
What? No, it's not. I really don't want to say anything.
Okay, it's like that.
Right. It's too dirty for this. Okay.
Oh,
Let's move on.
you're fucking always dirty-minded. Women in their 30s, mate, they're always dirty-minded.
No.
They're always dirty-minded. Am I right, boys?
No, we're not.
Fuck off. Your biology working against you.
Oh, no. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's looking pretty good in there. So let's get this show on the road. I think I've got a spare Wi-Fi antenna I can put on it as well. So I don't think it came with Wi-Fi antennas or any of that.
Buddy. Cat.
Alrighty, do you want to do the honours? Okay, yep. Hey mate, how you going? Good to have you here. We're just putting together a couple of... Why is my RGB turned off? There we go. So what's happened to my keyboard? Sometimes the cat sits on my keyboard, right? And that will fuck with everything. Yeah. Ah, nice. Alright, so these were the ones. Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Alrighty, there we go. Okay, the RGB on the cooler doesn't work when it's plugged in. Maybe the RGB is turned off in BIOS or something. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. Person got the Noctura cooler. Maybe they were going through and like, oh, RGB's so bad. Blah, 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 I'm making sure all that shit's turned off. Like it's going to do anything if it sits in the on position. With nothing plugged into it, but anyway. See, if I actually unplug that 5-volt header, the lights come on. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So we'll just get this one set up quickly, and we'll do our stress test, etc. That was weird. So. fuck me dead. I need a new fucking moderator, eh? Fucking hell. So sorry. Not that there's many people watching right now. Fuck. Alrighty. So that was Valley there on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. And finally we'll do superposition, and then we'll run a stress test on it, and then it will be ready for someone to buy. Yeah. The 6700 XT.
No, without the X.
Ah, 6700 on its own, no XT. I want to say yes, but I could be confusing it with 6600. There's nothing wrong if there's a 6700. There'll be nothing wrong with it. Sorry, what was that? Am I going to see Bad Religion when they tour? Didn't you book tickets to something? Oh, that was Gimme Gimmes. Okay. I saw Bad Religion with No Effects ages ago. Didn't someone just get kicked out? Who was it that got kicked out of Bad Religion recently? Because they kept drinking. Bad Religion are hardcore straight edge. Alrighty. So I think everything's behaved itself really nicely while we've been running this. Yep. Yep. And yep, that's all within tolerances there. Okay. Jeez, I feel like I've been doing this for ages. What's that? Okay. That's behaving itself. Yep. Sweet as. Well, yeah, this is looking all good. I'll do some photos of it and list it tomorrow, and then yeah, someone can pick this up and take it home and start gaming at a good price. All right, so let me just go back to full screen here, and I'm going to say goodbye. Click on the screen. Yeah. Alrighty. So thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.